Can I invite Liew to come and speak on Toastmasters past, present, and future?
Thank you.
Liew, Toastmasters past, present, and future. Liew.
It's not working. Murphy's Law. Thank you, Madam Moderator. Close to a month ago, during our biannual renewal, 7 of my club members did not renew. And of those 7 members, 4 of them were really young. They were somewhere in their 20s. And of the 4 members, 2 of them were so excited just 3 to 4 months ago with Toastmasters. Why? Why? Distinguished Toastmasters, advanced communicators, our foreign guests, District 51 and 102 Toastmasters and non-Toastmasters guests. Perhaps let me introduce myself first. My name is Liew. I have been in the IT sector for 31 years, believe it or not. I currently work for a company called Service Rocket. If you're asking, no, we don't service rockets. We are an IT company based out of USA. We originally started in Australia. Now, back to the question, why? So the moment I know this is my reaction. Why? Why? After just a short period, there's one quit Toastmasters. Right? And it's very perplexing. I'll call it the Starbucks generation. Right? Is the Starbucks guy here? No, he's not. If you know what I'm talking about. So, but I would like to congratulate Dinesh for being our new Division J director. He does bring a lot of excitement to Toastmasters. Right? So, why? Now, what I got from our treasurer is that they feel our club is filled with too many old people, me being one of them, and that they have not learned anything new. Now, that is also surprising. But what did I get from it? I feel that they are not engaged. They are not engaged. And why are they not engaged? Why is the generation, young generation, not as engaged as we would like them to be? And for that, I would like to perhaps bring you through our past, our present, and our future. Right? In the past, we have been using email, we have been using websites to communicate. Now, do you know that emails, the first email was sent 47 years ago, and the first web page was created 27 years ago. It's almost a generation when we're talking about it in digital age. Something that's 5 years old is already very old in the digital age, right? So we are living in the digital age. Now, who has been to this website? probably 3 or 4 hands I see. I am the webmaster for this website, for this term. Now, apparently we are not doing our job because we have not promoted it. But this is a website that has been on for very, very long. Me and Lucky are the ones that is managing the website now. Now, it provides information. Lucky has been working really hard to make sure the website is updated with the latest information like nomination details and whatever events or campaigns that's happening. But who reads a static website nowadays? What tool do we use? We use WhatsApp. We use Instant Messenger. We use Facebook. We use Instagram. And for our meetings, we use Meetup. We use calendar invites to invite people. So this is the present. That's the past. I'm not saying that we shouldn't be using the past tools anymore. There are usages for email. There are usages for website. It's just that we are falling behind, I believe. This is a typical meetup that we have, that we organize every meeting. We have 2 meetings a month. And on the 20th of March, we have 24 people sign up for our meetup. And on average, 10 guests come to our meeting. On some meetings, and the guests outnumber the number of members. So that's the number of guests we have. So we really do not have a problem inviting guests or getting guests to come to our meeting. The problem is in converting the guests and retaining the members. So, as I said earlier, why did these 2 individuals who seemed really excited months ago decided that Toastmasters is not for them? Well, a lot of us use this tool, right? So a bit of, let me start first with a disclaimer. I do not work for Facebook. I'm not aligned to Cambridge Analytica. In case you are asking, I'm not involved with the elections, other than the club election, obviously. And I don't have shares in Facebook. But Facebook, who doesn't have a Facebook account? Here, no one. No one. Everyone has a Facebook account. Is Facebook easy to post? It is, right? But Facebook is public. Do we have something that is just for Toastmasters? That we can encompass everything in one platform? We don't, right? But how many of you know about Workplace? Anyone using Workplace? No? Yes? They are. So it surprised me because a few meetings, one meeting ago, I did ask some of our club members, and there are a few people who use Workplace. What is Workplace? Workplace is essentially Facebook, but within your office. Facebook in your organization. Facebook that does not have the public in it. So that is Workplace. Now, what's the difference here? The difference is that Murphy's Law, whatever can go wrong will go wrong. My mom calling. So, what is Workplace and how can it help with the problem that we're having? The problem that we're having is that we have people who feel that they are not engaged. And the reason why they are not engaged is because they are not participating. They only come once every 2 weeks or so for a meeting. And they go back and they prepare. They don't connect with the people. How do we ensure even the most introverted people get connected? We should have a platform. And a lot of us are already using Facebook for that, to communicate. But it's communicating with the people that we know rather than purely Toastmasters. So what I'm proposing is that we adopt something like workplace if there is a chance to do it. Let me show you an example of a post that I did on a workplace. If you look at the left, that's my company logo, so I'm actually using company screen, example from my company. We have adopted it for the past 2 years, workplace. So if you haven't heard of it, maybe it's time that you Google, get on it and look through it, but hopefully I can give you more information today so that you can maybe know where to get started with workplace. So I'm writing a post, and it's the same as any post that you would like or you would have already. Now, you can actually post this through your phone, not only on your screen. The problem that we have with a static site is that only 2 or 3 people have access to create the content, so people are not engaged. But look at the Facebook, say, or workplace in this sense. You can actually get people to participate. There are a lot of things you can do with it. And what is new nowadays? What is the young generation attracted to? They are attracted to videos. The young generation have a very short attention span. And I believe that is not a defect. I believe it's something that comes out from our environment, the environment that we create for them. So instead of saying that, no, we need to change them, think of how we can merge the 2 generations together and work and make sure our young generation benefit from Toastmasters. This is an example of a page that I created within the office. It's a group, we call it Toastmasters group. And you can create posts, you can post pictures, you can get people engaged, provide comments, get them to ask questions. What else can you do? You can actually create groups that is very specific to learning. Right? Create a group that says level 1 pathways. Put all the details in there, and whenever someone gets on board, they can go to the level 1 pathways group, join the group, read the contents, and ask questions whenever they have a problem. Right? In my office, after 2 years, our email dropped by 90%. Now we are only getting 10% emails than we used to get. So imagine the removal of all the clutter. There's no more clutter anymore. We only have a few emails which we can focus on because email communication with our clients is still happening. And that you can't avoid. How much does it cost? If you use a standard version, it's free. So I do encourage the new leadership, or I do encourage people who are working to start looking into workplace. See if it will help you, because in our organization, it has helped enhance communication. It has helped people get more engaged. And that's important because Toastmasters is not all about public speaking. Toastmasters is about communication, how you get everyone to communicate and plan things together. I did a bit of Photoshop. I enlarged the 0, I must admit. But, for all good effects. It has live video streaming. Now, if you take a video on your phone, where does it get stored? It gets stored on your phone. If you post it on Workplace, it gets stored there. You do not need to store videos on your phone anymore. So it's a platform that allows you to accumulate all the videos and all the photos. So it just takes away all the problems that you have with regards to storage, because videos are large, right? So it has unlimited file, photo, and video storage. You can create a workplace for Toastmasters only. You can use it for learning. you can have conversations where you read what you want to read. I mean, a lot of you would be in the WhatsApp chat, and every day there's hundreds and hundreds of chats, right? And you have to read through hundreds of chats to find what you want to read. But if you have workplace, then you can actually read what you would like to read at the time that you want to read it, and comment and get involved in the conversation, rather than just ignore all the conversation because it's just too much. WhatsApp has its place. Workplace is a tool that you will enhance what you're doing now. You can create a lot of multiple groups. You can get people that is non-Toastmaster to join into some of the groups. So that those are the features of Toastmasters. And with that, I end my speech, and I would like to thank you for listening to my speech, and I hope that it helps you in some way or other.
Thank you, Liew.
So good afternoon. My question is, how can we engage guests using technology during the meeting?
All right. So I told you about video, and I don't believe many people are doing it. Although I've seen people doing it before. But you can actually record people giving speeches. Now imagine, I have been in Toastmasters for 4.5 years, right? I do not know what's my progress for the past 4.5 years. I know I've improved, but how do I know I've improved? So if you had recorded your speeches on video, put them in a safe, you can put them in your own secret group. And once you put them in that group, only you can see it, or you can share it with someone that you want to comment on your speech. So imagine, Toastmasters meeting happens with a limited set of people. And when you get evaluated, you get evaluated by one single person. Now imagine if I had posted somewhere and invite other people within my club to evaluate it. Wouldn't that be great? They would point out something to me that I'm not aware of. That's a really good question. Thank you, by the way.
Thank you. Any more questions?
Workplace is an app. It's like Facebook. So once you get in, you can go and create your posts. And what they do is they segregate them into various groups. So you can join a group that, assuming the whole district adopts it, you can create a group for your club. And within that group, you add members. So you have an administrator who can add members to that group. So when you post, only people in your group can see the post. Yeah. It's similar to Facebook. It's like a Facebook group, except now you can have better control over it. Thank you. Another question? Last one? Yes.
Hi, Liew. I'm Peter from District 80. The question for you is, does Workplace also allow live feed a video that allows immediate commentary from audience member, just like Facebook?
Yes. Within that feature that, okay, where does it go? There is live streaming. So if you look at the first item on that list, there's live streaming. So you actually can do, say, a half an hour live stream or even 15-minute live stream, say, and people can like. It's like a Facebook, right? You can like it along the way when you're doing live stream. And they can comment while you are speaking. So that gets captured. All right. Good. I think that's all.
Right.
We have time for.
Yes.
We do have another person who's asking questions.
For workplace, you don't need a password, but you need an administrator, so only those in the group can get in. But outsiders, they won't be able to ask
Yes.
any questions.
So again, another good question. What I think retains people is engagement. Now imagine you are already in workplace and District 51 created a workplace only for District 51 members. Now, my question is, would you stay with Toastmasters? Because if not, you lose all these social activities within workplace, within Toastmasters. So you can create, it's up to individuals how you want to do it. The administrator can just create a Toastmasters domain, which is in our case tmdistrict51.org, and then provide individuals in Toastmasters of District 51 with email, and those people are the ones that will have access. That's what I'm thinking. And once you quit Toastmasters, then your access will be removed. And I feel that will help engage individuals. And if you have Toastmasters in workplace that is purely for Toastmasters, what happens then is that whatever they comment is relevant, rather than giving out to the whole public, which maybe 90% of our friends are not interested in public speaking. Everyone in the group is aware and are engaged and knows what Toastmasters is and would like to get involved in communicating with you with regards to public speaking. So you have a group, you narrow it down to all these people, but once they become a non-member, I suggest that you can be removed. But that is up to the administrator to decide who will be added, who will be removed. So that's what I think. It's a lofty idea, I know. I think it would have been better if, say, the Toastmasters International adopted this and all Toastmasters get an account. But if not, then I don't feel that there is a problem for the district to think about it and evaluate it as a digital tool that will help enhance Toastmasters, retain Toastmasters, and have them still within us and contributing. And it engages the young.
Right, thank you, Liew. Thank you so much for sharing with us.
Thank you, everyone.
As we prepare for the second speaker, Lorraine Taylor, she's from Dubai, and she's going to talk about online clubs on Toastmasters. Now, isn't that exciting? Now we are in the digital age.
Okay.
And she has charted the Firebirds Collective Online Club.
Good afternoon, almost good evening. I am so happy to be back here in Malaysia. The last time I came back here was in 2014 for that wonderful Toastmasters International Conference here. I met a lot of new friends and I took away a lot of memories, and I'm sure I'm going to be doing that again this time. So, to our wonderful moderator here, to the distinguished Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and our wonderful Malaysian guests, good evening. This evening, I'm going to be talking to you about the online clubs. I'm a Firebirds Collective member, and I'm going to talk about three things. Why? Why would anyone want to join an online club? And second, how? How did this all start? And how does it all work? And finally, what? What are the challenges that we have? And what is the future of online connections? So first of all is why. Why did I join an online club? Well, I was in New Zealand at the time, and during the summer, my club that meets 30 minutes away does not meet in summer because many people are on holiday. So I'm going to have to travel another hour and 20 minutes, 2 hours to get to a Toastmasters club. It's too far. I was scrolling on my Facebook and I found a post about online Toastmasters, so I answered it. And that, since September 2015, is when I started online Toastmasters. But in 2015, Toastmasters did not officially recognize online Toastmasters clubs. And so it was not until 2016, in March, is when Toastmasters International officially recognized the online clubs. And 2 clubs then chartered. The first one was Netizens, and a few days later, it was Firebird's Collective. Our charter president took us off, and the Firebirds were in flight. By July 1st, I was elected president of to hold the position for the first time of having a president for an online club. And was when, as a Firebirds Collective, we were an advanced club and we wanted to support other people that wanted to charter clubs. So we chartered Witty Storytellers, Great White North, Toastmasters Without Borders, and then we had a grandbaby. Firebirds Collective and Witty Storytellers got together as 2 advanced clubs, and we produced Witty Birds, and that's a non-advanced club. So as we continued, it was then in 2018, just last month, there are now 15 clubs that are online, and we suspect another 20 are within charter probably with this year. So that's a little bit of why and how it all happened, but here we go as well as why would someone at the age of 94 want to join an online club? This is past international president Robert Bob Blakely. Bob, he started Toastmasters in 1958. In 2016, he was 94 years old. He'd been in Toastmasters for almost 60 years. But for the last few years of his life, he was not able to physically get to a club. And so a world and a family he had been connected to was cut off until he found the online clubs, and he joined us in 2016. He passed away in 2017 in November, and I am so very grateful that I had the opportunity that such a wise man, so inspirational, and such a leader in our community that I was able to connect with him. So I got ahead of myself when I already told you how it all happened. And so we do have 15 clubs now and more on the way. The next question that we get is, so how does it work? Well, this is what I see when I'm in my online Toastmasters club. Our club uses a platform called Zoom. Now, we used to use GoToMeeting, and you can use other platforms. The corporate clubs, which of course like the online system, they can use their own internal platforms as well. This was earlier this month, and we had 2 clubs get together for a Table Topics, a Tall Tales contest. And one of the benefits of Zoom is it can hold up to 100 people virtually, so we can hold more clubs together, and we can have breakout rooms, so we can do judges briefing and speakers briefing. Now, we all have to learn technology, and I got lost in a virtual room once, but they did come and find me again, so it's okay. We're Toastmasters, and we help each other out. So another question I always get is, how do you do the timing? And I always like to use my hats, but we're pretty innovative in the online world. And one of the last meeting in my Firebirds, where our theme was travel and tourism. And so we, our member who's Polish that lives in France, for her timing lights, she used travel maps that were red, yellow, and green, which was very innovative. Now, another question I get is, but how do you learn all this? I don't know how to do anything. I'm not good with technology. Well, let me give you an example of a 94-year-old trying to learn technology. In the first picture there, you can see Bob is listening. Bob is doing his P3. The topic is he wants to tell us about the new Toastmasters International headquarters being moved to Denver, Colorado. And he wanted to use his green screen to project the headquarters behind him, so it appeared that he was standing in front of it. So he was trying to figure it out, and before we knew it, the headquarters was plastered all over Bob's head. We laughed, and Bob laughed, and we all learned how to use these the green screen. So how do we learn? We learn because we're Toastmasters. And that's how we learn. We just ask questions and we make mistakes and we have fun. So another big question that I get a lot is, as the president, how did you lead a global team of people from all over the world in all different time zones that you've never met before? It's my biggest challenge, and it has proven to be the biggest benefit that I've ever had. In July 1st of 2016, and with the pressure on me that we finally got to be recognized, I didn't want to fail. And I had to figure out how we were going to meet, how we were going to get together. Now, we couldn't meet at any one time. I had done my postgraduate work in Massey University. My focus is on communication, and I had worked with a professor with global teams as well. So I had a little bit of background. Now, what I did was, in Dubai, I used to sit in the coffee shops and see these business people using the app called Trello, which is a project management app. And I thought, you know, that's going to work for me. And this is what it is. This is the Trello board that I set up for Firebird's collective executive team. Each list is for each position, VP Ed, VP membership. And on each list, you have cards. All the cards flip over, long conversations, checklists on all the cards. So the idea was that I asked my team, you need to go to the Trello board once a week and do what you're responsible for, answer your questions, and see. So that's proven to be, I do have a YouTube video about, I presented that. If you're interested, just go onto my YouTube channel. So the what, we can come now to the what. So what are the challenges? Well, everything has challenges, especially when there's change. And the two big challenges that we have is that when the districts, when Toastmasters International acknowledged the online club, they put the online clubs in the undistricted category, the district U. So they're in the undistricted district. And so because they're in the undistricted district, then it's a problem for districts who are trying to get DCP points because they don't add to the district. So we need online clubs because we live in a world where communication today is not just face-to-face. This is my preferred way of speaking. Face-to-face, getting connections. But we're living in a world of live video, videos being uploaded, live training, online training, global teams. We need to move. Toastmasters is a leader in communication and leadership, and they need to lead the way into the 21st century. So we need them, but it's not working, and that's a challenge. The second challenge we have is that Toastmasters is going through a major change with pathways. And it's a big thing for pathways to come. And, you know, I'm getting older, and I see some of gray hairs out there, and I know you don't like change too much, so that's why it's a bit difficult. But what do we see as the future for online clubs? So this is the club that I sponsored and chartered last year. It's the first hybrid club in the Middle East. It's called Be Bold for Change, and it's for women that work and are very busy. They travel, and so when they're traveling, they can zoom in. So it's a mixture of the two, benefits the districts because the districts get the district point for it. Here is the Emperor's Mandarin Club in the Philippines. I popped over there, just zoomed in last month. I know Zaldi, he's the mentor of that club, and it's a young club that's not very experienced Toastmasters, so I popped in to evaluate one of their speakers so they could get an experienced evaluator. While I was there, someone from Ireland popped in, and someone from China popped in as well. Just last week, one of our members in Firebird's collective, She started the Advanced Club in Cork, Ireland. So 5 of us from Firebird's collective zoomed from 5 different parts of the world into Ireland, took up roles, and supported the development of their club. This is when last year in May in 2017, I was part of a collaborative group that was presenting like I am now, but I was on the screen. I wasn't standing here. So I was on the screen with Mathilde from Germany and Julie from the UK, and we were presenting about online clubs, and the moderator there is standing and moderating, talking to us and taking the Q&A. This is already happening in businesses. This is now going to start. I believe this was the absolute first time it's happened in Toastmasters. Last year in 2017 in Vancouver, I was able to go up on stage, and a lot of people didn't know this in Vancouver, but history was made. It was the first time that an online club had entered the international contest as an undistricted club. You can enter the videotaped international contest. I won 3rd last year. And you will see now there's a lot of people wanting to compete in video contests. They're making videos, they're running their businesses like this. There's a lot more entries from the online club this year. So that's the future as I see it. So my question to you is, what's the future for you in online Toastmasters? I encourage you to go onto the Toastmasters International site, click on Find a Club, click on Online Clubs, and you will come to all of these clubs here at the moment. You can click on any of those. They're very welcoming, and you can find which one that you might like to visit. And you can just come as a guest. You don't need to join. And of course, you can come and visit Firebird's collective. You can contact me at brandyou@lorrainetaylor.com if you would like. And come and join us at Firebirds. We meet every week. We service 2 different time zones, both Eastern Hemisphere and Western Hemisphere. And come and join us anytime that you like. And that is how I imagine how the virtual Toastmasters is going to be in the future.
Lorraine,
Yes.
I would like to ask about the virtual contest. If within the region or within the district, you are having people who are in the virtual as well as the physical present on stage. Do you allow that? Or must it be all the people who want to compete must be in an identical format like virtual?
Well, the way it is now is the online clubs have been put into the undistricted district. So always for many, many years, the undistricted clubs compete. But they don't get to compete on stage. They've always competed in the videotaped contest. It's in the rule book. So online clubs were put into the undistricted clubs, so that's where they compete. An online club can't compete on stage, and an online club and an undistricted club can only compete at club level. We've had area contests, but not officially in the online because we're in the undistricted club district. Yeah. Yes, that's a great question. Thank you.
If we were to start an online club in Singapore, it will also be part of the undistrict.
Yeah, that's the challenge right now. That would be a whole nother presentation. So that's a challenge that's going on. You know, what do I see in the future? I believe that we're one day just going to have clubs. They're just going to be online. They're going to be both. They're going to be anything. I just think we're just going to have clubs. But right now, it's the separation that's causing the trouble. So that's why in a district conference, I would recommend the hybrid club. Because if you have both, then they're registered in the district.
All right.
That's,
question.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
The video contest, do you film only the upper half of your body or do we see the whole body?
Very, very good question. So, in the video contest, I competed in the practice area contest, and I sat down because that's how I'm working. And I got second place, and I was advised to stand up. So then I stood up, and then I won the first place in my club, and then I went to international, yeah. So at the moment, Toastmasters still think stand up. So that's your audience of judges, so stand up. That's the way it goes. Yeah, good question.
Hi, Lorraine. How well this online Toastmasters will help the beginners to improve?
Pardon?
How well this online Toastmasters meeting will help beginners to improve?
How will it help us to improve?
Yes.
Okay, well, today we speak face to face, but we also communicate, let's forget about Toastmasters. In the world, we communicate through video, through live video, through webinars, through coaching, through online classes, through everything. That's where we're moving. So we need to develop those skills as well. It is one skill to stand in front of here. It's another skill to do it completely online, and it's another skill to sit in a room and have somebody on the screen and talk to them, make eye contact with everyone and eye contact with the camera. So it's a skill. Like in the online club, we have a video monitor. So at the end of every meeting, they evaluate how we are on video. So you have some light behind you, it's distracting, your glasses are tilted so the light is bouncing off, you're looking down so you look superior, it's a bad, so we evaluate that and everybody gets better. I'm going to be here all weekend, and I know we have another guest speaker and another presentation, so I'm going to stop the question and answer and just come and talk to me. I love talking, and you can also connect with me as well.
And now we will be having our third speaker for Toastmasters in Digital Age, and he is actually Seng from Singapore. He'll be talking about pathways.
Good evening, everybody. First of all, I'd like to acknowledge those who were REP ambassadors and pathways guide. REP represents Revitalized Education Program, and that was started in 2013. Who are the REP ambassadors here in the room? Can you please stand up? Stay there. Can I have the pathway guides? Anybody in the room? Please stand up. Would you like to stand up, please? Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to look at all of these people. They are your resource people, so when you have any question and you can't find me, speak to them. This is called Tai Chi. All right? And that's the way it is, the power of networking and the power of the audience and the people around you. I want to basically talk about my experiences in Pathway. When REP was first started, Revitalized Education Program started, it was during the year when I was Lieutenant Governor, Education and Training. And in our district, we then appointed the Chief Ambassador. And that was how I got very excited about the whole program, because I believe that branded learning is definitely the future of the world. And Toastmasters was realistic enough to take that in. The world has changed, and disruptive innovation have made things impossible possible. It was what Henry Ford has said: whether you believe you can or you can't, you are right. Because everything is in the mindset. So in pathways, Toastmasters pathway specifically, there are two major obstacles. The first major obstacle is all in here. This is your mind. A lot of Toastmasters says that, the old traditional program is so wonderful, I don't want to change. and want to keep it as it is. Fine. If you are happy with it, so be it. You have up to 30th of June 2020 to do whatever you want with the existing traditional program. But come 1st July 2020, ladies and gentlemen, you have to make a choice. You either decide you stay with Toastmasters, or you decide that Toastmasters is not for you. Because then, each and every one of you, no matter who you are, you have to engage the pathway program. So that's the biggest problem, mindset. The second obstacle that you will face is what I face as well. I'm not very good in computers, but I started one of the first prototype Rotary Cyber Club in the world. And that was in the year 2004, and talking about online club. So I have a lot of experience, or so it seems. I use computer every day. And yet, when I engage in pathway, ladies and gentlemen, all of you, each one of you, whether you are an IT expert or you are novice, you will face the same problem that I have. But I have a goal in mind. I know what I want. And for the next 48 hours, I have frustration. Frustration, frustration, frustration. If you know what you want at the end of the tunnel, no obstacle is going to keep you from getting that goal. I like to say that I have resources. My best resource is my Vice President of Education in YMCA Toastmasters Club. And I'm glad to say is that he's also a pathway guide. That's why I say is that I want these people to be recognized so that you know who you should be going to. Along the way, working with him, I can tell you today, even though I'm not a pathway guide, I know a lot about pathways and what to do and where to go and what to expect. Learning is always a journey. Sure, you fall sometime, but you wake up, walk up, stand up. When you were a kid, what happened? Were you able to run at the very moment you say, Peter, stand up, run? No way. Peter's gonna fall many, many a time. And I'm going to be like the father, well done, Peter. Keep on going, stand up. Wow, you're doing great. And that's really, ladies and gentlemen, what we should be doing. As pathway guides, as for myself, my journey has completed as far as Pathway Toastmasters is concerned, because I have completed within the 8 months period with a goal in mind to become one of the first Pathway Distinguished Toastmasters in the world. So you can do it. I'm sure everyone can do it if I can do it, because you begin with the end in mind. So ladies and gentlemen, you ask, what is the weakness? Most of the people in this room can speak and communicate and read one language, right? I assume. And most of you, in fact, all of you, if you are listening here, can do that in English. Can you do it in another language? Most Malaysian will be able to speak Bahasa Melayu. But ladies and gentlemen, Bahasa Melayu is not one of the languages approved by Toastmasters. Some of you will be able to speak Mandarin. That's one of the language just that Toastmasters use. In District 80, there are 2 divisions that belong to the Mandarin group. Sure, they can speak English. Sure, they can speak Mandarin. But when they go to the website, what's the problem? Toastmasters website pathways are. The language there is totally in English. Now everybody, myself, even though I'm English educated, I'm lost. What about people who have other languages? French, Dutch, German, they will be lost. I just wonder if Toastmasters is such an international organization, shouldn't they be investing in a drop-down menu? A drop-down menu basically translates the websites into the different languages that Toastmasters have adopted. And so even though it's not perfect, it helps 95%. Ladies and gentlemen, my friend, if you think that is one of the biggest weaknesses, I must say, you're wrong. That is still not the biggest weakness. Remember, I've been sharing with you, I begin with the end in mind. If I have not begun with the end in mind, within 48 hours, I would have given up because it was an obstacle that I have to overcome. The biggest obstacle is that if you begin, like my method of learning, with the end in mind, then I must know exactly what is laid out, level 5, level 4, level 3, level 2, level 1. When I know exactly what is the big game plan, I know how to strategize. If you only know this is the current system that they have, if you only know level 1, then all you know is hand combat. But if you know up to level 5 exactly what's expected, you have to have the ability to plan strategically where you are going and how you're going to do it. Because I was able to finish one path, took me a while, 4 months I think, or more, I was able to accelerate my learning pace with the second pathway path. Once that is all planned out, everything is so simple, and I know how to strategize, and I know how to move. And so, ladies and gentlemen, you may want to think about going back to Toastmasters International and asking them, if we have paid for what we have paid, why are you restricting us? Given the fact that if you have completed one path, you would have access to those anyway. But if I have a friend like Lorraine, she may be able to share with me, I will have access anyway. I don't know whether it's because pathway has not been fully rolled out. That's the reason why they keep it, very close to the chest. But by the end of this Toastmasters year, the whole pathway program will be rolled out throughout the world. And I hope this weakness of Toastmasters International for keeping the levels concealed to people who have already paid will be changed. Think about it. I said one thing, all the weaknesses and all the obstacles, and yet I stand here because I am the greatest ambassador for Pathway. I believe that Pathway is the future for Toastmasters. Pathway gives me a lot of flexibility, a lot of opportunity. For those who follow my blogs, and I've decided I have a beginning and I have an ending, I finish and close that blog. I started that blog when I was doing my first Pathway, when it was at level 4. Write a compelling blog. I thought it was wonderful. It was something that I've never done. And one thing I can tell you this, my blog has gone international. Because of the internationality of Toastmasters International because of the wonderful vehicles that you have called Facebook. Everybody knows that I'm one of the first pathway distinguished Toastmasters in the world. People are coming to me and say, look, you are such an inspiration. Can you show me, teach me how I can do it? I says, of course. Everything is possible if you begin with an end in mind. Have a goal and then work backwards. And then everything will fall into place if you work diligently for it. Many a times, as all of you know, you set wonderful goals and then you talk about it. And that's all you do. Like all Toastmasters, we talk about it, and we talk about it, and we talk about it. Nothing, my friend, will happen. The difference is action. Action makes you make things possible. My friend, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to talk to me, I'm available for the next 3 days. I will share whatever I can, because all of you will face the same obstacle and the same challenges as yours truly. Thank you very much.
My name is Lawrence from MBTC. I find that in the process of this pathway, I find one weakness is that it is lack of recognition. For example, when you finish advanced in the traditional manners, when you finish the 10 assignment, they are known as CC, right? Another step, they are known as ACP. But in the pathway, when you finish, say, level 3, you wouldn't be recognized. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce Lawrence Tong, level 3 of the path? You can't, right? That's what I mean, is a lack of recognition. Can you comment on that?
Okay, I think what you're saying is that at the district level, you are not being recognized and says, Lawrence, whatever, level 3. On the contrary, pathways is done in such a way that you are recognized fast, as quickly as possible compared to the traditional system. In the traditional system, what happens is that you have to do 10 projects before you finally become a competent communicator. I want to say competent Toastmasters because that's how old I am, but become a competent communicator. In pathways, when you finish 4 projects in level 1, 4 projects in level 1, you already got a certificate. Yes, you can go online and print it out. You can actually write to Toastmasters International and ask for a printed copy if you want, but actually they tell you everything is soft copy, everything is accessible online, you just go and get it. So you go in there and you get 4 projects and you have level 1. You do another 3 projects, you will have level 2. You do another 3 projects, you will have level 3. And you do 2 projects, you have level 4, and so forth. My friend, it is so quick. And when you go to the district website, under the dashboard, Toastmasters dashboard, under Educational Award, your name will appear there. Because of pathway, I'm a triple crown very easily. In fact, every one of you should be a triple crown. Whether the district want to do it or recognize you as triple crown, I don't know. Do you know that I have 11 awards just from pathway? 11, not 3. I have 11 awards. 5 for completing one path, 5 for completing another path, and 1, when if you look at my name, doesn't have anything, is a blank DTM. So I have 11 awards for this year. I will make it 12 by actually completing my what they call it, the mentors program. And so I hope to do it by 30th of June 2018. Everything depends on my mentor. Sometimes that's what happened. My mentee, all right? You have mentees who promise you a lot of things. Mentors can do as much as they can. But in the end, the mentors must also decide, look, if things are not working out, let's call it quits. And I have two mentees. I would like to say one of them is just fantastic. And so I wish I should be able to finish on 30th of June 2018. So at the end of the year, I will have 12 awards, and I don't know how many Triple Crown there will be. Is that enough? Yes, go ahead, come.
I'm James Lai from Team Frontier. It's amazing to become DTM in 8 months for pathway. So I believe it will be this focus on your goal. The problem is that focus is important. But how to focus, especially Malaysia now is PLE is 14 is coming. It's just a lot of distraction. So what's the technique to stay focused? I believe everyone want to know.
Okay. The technique to stay focused is to do projects that are of interest to you. This is the wonderful thing about Pathways, and I thank you for the opportunity for me to share. If you read my blog is mainly about the projects I carried out in Rotary, my community service project, my wonderful projects that I did together with my President Richard Ong. Can you please be upstanding? Do things that you really like, and things will become very easy. If you are doing it for your company, incorporate what you do for the company into Pathway. And that's really what Pathway is all about. You incorporate whatever is of interest to you, and then things will be very, very easy. In the interest of time, I just quickly have a last question from this gentleman. Yeah.
DTM under Pathways, well done in doing it in such a short time. Because Singapore went live 6 weeks after we went live in Malaysia, so that's an even more fantastic achievement. I also applaud you for your passion and your enthusiasm for Pathways, which I obviously share with you, but it's good that you share with all of us. But one piece of information which you didn't mention when you mentioned languages, because I agree with you, TI should be more advanced when it comes to making use of the fact that we are an international organisation. Yes, we don't have the website in various languages, but I think we should recognise that TI have got at least all the materials in 9 different languages, including 4 Asian languages, simplified Chinese, traditional Chinese, Japanese and Arabic, which is good. And next year we will have Tamil available as a language for Pathways. So they are making good progress. They've still got some way to go though, but let's not insult them too much. Let's congratulate them for what they have achieved already. But thank you for your presentation.
Okay, I just want to mention this. This is true specifically if you are talking about a traditional program. It is not necessarily true when you talk about Pathway at this point of time, because there are a lot of things that they are still working on. So yeah, given time, it's maybe possible.